Hey, do you want to stop procrastinating, but you can't seem to take action? If so, I have a tool that can help. It's called the Power Five. I'm Alicia, founder of Successfilled, and I'm a certified professional coach. First off, I want to clarify something. Procrastination is a stress reliever. It's not an indication of a character flaw or a lack of willpower. It's not that. You procrastinate to avoid doing something that you find unpleasant, which relieves your stress immediately. That's a benefit of procrastination. Unfortunately, the immediate and short-term stress relief from procrastinating usually results in longer-term stress because you're not doing something you either want to do or need to do. Fortunately, the Power 5 tool can help you stop procrastinating in a fun way. And here's how it does that. Like procrastination, it helps relieve stress. Unlike procrastination, it doesn't cause longer term stress because you're actually going to be taking action and then you get fun rewards. So another good thing is that by replacing that procrastination habit with what I just said, taking this brief action and using fun rewards, it helps you create this action habit. So you're replacing your procrastination habit with an action habit, but it's still fun and it's still relieving your stress. So it's really effective, or at least I have found it to be effective, and so have others, and I hope that you do too. Another benefit with the Power 5 tool is that it helps you get past that initial hurdle of starting, which can be for a lot of us. Basically, it can be one of the biggest challenges. So there you go. Those are some of the things as far as the Power 5 tool helping you stop procrastinating. As far as breaking your procrastination habit in general, here's some of the benefits of doing that. I mentioned some, a little bit just previously, but here's some. It helps you avoid the longer term stress of a procrastination hangover, as mentioned, and really to focus on that piece where, procrastination helps you in this short term. If it didn't have a downside, if procrastination didn't have a downside, there would be no reason to stop procrastinating, and you wouldn't be here, right? And none of us who procrastinate or have a history of procrastinating would ever want to stop. That's just how it is. So you know that there is a procrastination hangover, that longer term bad feeling you get from procrastinating. That's what using this tool and breaking your procrastination habit helps you change. Breaking your procrastination habit, also creates confidence in your abilities. So think about this. Have you ever done something that you really thought you couldn't do? And you did it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that was so freaking amazing. Like, I did this. That's incredible. That's what I want for you. There's so many things in your life that are like that you might think, oh my gosh, how on earth am I going to do this? Well, I have every confidence in you and your abilities to figure it out, to get the tools you need, the help, resources, whatever that is, in order to make that happen for yourself. I absolutely know you can do it. And the thing is, by doing things, taking action, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You don't have to take anybody's word for it because you show yourself that you can. Oh, this is good stuff. Anyway, yeah, you can tell I kind of geek out on this stuff a little bit. Okay, maybe more than a little bit sometimes. Anyway, breaking your procrastination habit. Another benefit is that it builds better relationships with yourself and others by doing what you said you were going to do. Have you ever been in a situation where you're relying on somebody to do what they said they would? Either you're looking forward to it or you need it if you're working on a joint project, or it could be any number of things. And they don't do it And how does that make you feel when someone else procrastinates and you're on the receiving end of that and it affects you negatively? Yeah, probably not great, right? So breaking your procrastination habit helps your relationships. If all of those reasons weren't enough to take action, here's another important one. I believe that you are here for a purpose. A lot of people believe this. I absolutely believe this. Since no one else is exactly like you, there hasn't ever been anyone like you, there won't ever be anyone else like you ever again. You are in a unique position to impact the world in a way that only you can. It's incredible. So the thing is, if you're not taking action, then you're not only hurting yourself, but also you're hurting the other people whose lives you're here to help. You know, it's a cascading effect. I believe that by each of us, by you going ahead and taking action to fulfill the purpose that you're here. And I also believe that you're here for more than one purpose, but let's just say purpose, generally, broadly speaking. When you don't take the action you need, other people are counting on you to take certain things and to help them so that they can fulfill the purpose that they're here for. So it's this cascading effect, negative effect by procrastinating. And, the benefit is you stop procrastinating, or at least you minimize your procrastinating. You start taking more action because this is a process, and, you focus on your progress. That's awesome. Okay. Well, hopefully you've had a lot of good reasons to go ahead and take action. So here is how to use the Power 5 tool, which can really help you do that. All right. Step number 1. Think of 1 to 3 fun rewards that you can do in 5 minutes. So it's important that you can do them in 5-minute time. It can be shorter than that, but don't make them go over 5 minutes. Then, and as a tip, they might be something that you want to do that you've already been doing to procrastinate, but as long as the caveat there is you have to really commit to stop doing it after 5 minutes, whatever you've been, avoiding, you've been doing in the place of what you're supposed to be doing. If you can commit to stopping that in 5 minutes, then that's great. Otherwise, I would pick something else. All right. Step number 2, find a comfortable place to work and get any resources you need to start your task or project. Things such as a computer, supplies, something to drink, whatever it is you need, get that all ready. Then step number 3, set an alarm for 5 minutes. Okay. Step number 4, start working and continue to work until the 5-minute alarm goes off. Now, remember, as mentioned before, a lot of times it's that starting that people have such a problem with. It's like you just can't get started. This is a way to help you get started. All right, so you're only going to work for 5 minutes. You can do anything for 5 minutes, right? I mean, pretty much most things, I should say, okay? And certainly you can work because you've done it for other things that you really want to do, so you can do it for this. And to help you want to do it, to help you incentivize, after that 5-minute alarm goes off, you set it. So this is step number 5. When the 5-minute alarm goes off, you set it for another 5 minutes, and then you take your fun rewards for taking action. It's when you get into this habit, it's so fun. And, sometimes 5 minutes can turn into 10 minutes, can turn into a work of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Don't let your break do that. Like, don't work for 5 minutes and then, take a break for 10 or 15, but if you want to do the flip side, just to get yourself going and you're in a groove, great. But if not, just take your work for 5 minutes, play for 5 minutes, work for 5 minutes, play for 5 minutes. So step number 6, when the alarm goes off, for your reward goes off. So you've done the 5-minute alarm to work for 5 minutes, boom, alarm goes off. You take your 5-minute break or reward, whatever it is. When your 5-minute alarm for your reward goes off, then you repeat steps 3 through 5 during the time available. So that's, you set another 5-minute alarm to take work, to work. And so you work during those 5 minutes. So that alarm, your work alarm goes off, that's 5 minutes. Then you set another alarm for 5 minutes, you take your break. When that alarm goes off, then you work again for 5, then you take a break for 5. So, and make sure you're setting your alarms so that you actually stop taking your break when needed. You might find that when you set your alarm for working, that after 5 minutes, you're still ready to go. You can go ahead and turn that off, or you can set it for another 5, however long you think you want to go for. But then really always make sure you take your breaks, like regardless, either way is awesome. This Power 5 can help you literally power through and get yourself going. And it's just, it gets your momentum up. That's what it's designed to do. And to help you have fun. If you're having fun, you're going to keep doing something. Who wants to do something that's boring or uninspiring? Not me. That's not what I'm about. So, and I'm guessing that that's not what you're about either. So you're not meant to live a life of drudgery, of pain, of boredom. You're meant to feel alive and fulfilled and joyful. I mean, that's why you're here, to help out, to get stuff done, to have a purpose, to fulfill your purpose. All right. Step number 7, after you've taken 5 minutes of work and action, and you've done 5 minutes of reward, and you've done that for however many times you've done it for the time available, which actually the time available is step 6. So sorry about that. Basically repeat the steps. I talked about this a little bit, I went over this, but that was actually step 6, where you repeat the steps 3 through 5 with the time available. Well, anyway. All right. I digress. Congratulate yourself. Step 7, congratulate yourself on taking action instead of procrastinating. All right, ready for some pro tips? Pro tips. If you don't have time right now to work on your task, set an alarm for when you can start. If a calendar reminder is sufficient to get your attention, great. You can use that instead of an alarm, or you can use both, whatever you prefer. Just the point is that it breaks through the clutter, so you know that it's time to start and to take action, and don't blow it off. I mean, that defeats the whole purpose, right? Hopefully your rewards, you're going to make your rewards, really motivating enough, fun, enticing, whatever. If you're somebody who seeks novelty, I think a lot of us do, actually. Not everybody. So then try to come up with different ones. Like you can even make that a game of trying to see different rewards. But another way, I would make it a game, period, as much as possible, because I really do believe that having fun is key to really encouraging yourself to show up and do the things that you want and need to do. So not as a punishment, as an encouragement. Okay. Another tip, make a game of how much you can do in 5 minutes. You can play against yourself, or recruit somebody who has a procrastination habit and play against them. See how much you can get done. And if it's the same, like if you're both working on similar tasks or something, you can do that, or you can just kind of compare and see, all right, I got this much done, you got that much done, what do you think? And go from there. Just have a little fun with that. All right. And I think making it a game is also particularly helpful when you're doing a task that's boring or particularly unpleasant. But I just think it's helpful all around, but in particular in those cases. Another pro tip, I actually mentioned this earlier, just make them strong enough incentives that you're going to be willing to take action for just a short 5 minutes. All right. Another tip, if you're not sure what types of rewards to use, think of ways you procrastinate currently. If you can do those things in 5 minutes and you're willing to stop them after 5 minutes, and I did mention this earlier, pick one of those. If not, and if you feel like you'll be tempted to go longer than that, don't pick one of those. Like, don't do it, pick another one. Otherwise, think of something else, like developing a new skill or a hobby or learning a new language. You can really fit a lot of things into 5 minutes. Okay, and this is something that I do know. I realize that this is probably not going to be considered fun to many people, but I actually fit in cleaning. Like, I really dislike cleaning. So I fit in cleaning in 5 minute increments, like just like I fit them in as little things, because then I'm not spending like a larger chunk of time cleaning. And for me, that actually ends up being fun. So it's not necessarily going to be fun to you, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. Another pro tip, be kind to yourself. It likely took you time to develop this procrastination habit, and it's the same with creating a new action habit. So be nice to yourself. Also, 5 minutes of action at a time adds up. Think about it. You do 6 sessions of 6 5-minute sessions of action, and you have 30 minutes of work. That's 30 minutes more than you were doing before. And look at how much that also means you had 30 minutes of fun. So really, it's a win-win. If you find yourself procrastinating again, this is the last tip. If you find yourself procrastinating again after successfully using this tool, that's just natural. It's part of the process. So don't worry about it. Focus instead on the progress that you've made. Like, forget about perfection. This isn't about perfection. This is about making progress and doing things in a way that works for you. All right. Give yourself a reward for having taken action up to this point. Forgive yourself if necessary. Some people will find that helpful. Some people, you might find it helpful. You might not, doesn't matter. If you don't, no worries. You just skip that part. Take a short break if you want, and then do the Power 5 tool steps to help you get back on track. All right. So that's all that part. Now I would like to leave you with a final thought. You matter. What you do also matters. You are capable of great things you might not have ever thought you were capable of doing. When you take action instead of procrastinating, you prove to yourself that this is true. You prove it. You don't have to take somebody else's opinion. You don't have to take my opinion. You don't have to take anybody else's opinion who you know. You prove it to yourself, okay? This is really important. And I really hope you think about that and use it as another reason to take action. All right, yay, you have got this. Oh my gosh. If you like this information and would like to get more practical tips, please hit the subscribe button. I'd also love to hear how you've used this tool, and go ahead and write that in the comments section below. All right. Anyway, I'm really happy that you're here. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to hear how you used it. And I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Bye.